Now, you've got an upcoming garden party coming up, haven't you, Jay? You had one last year. It's not Buckingham Palace, but I bet it's the next thing, is it, Jay? Next
Well, not
best thing.
quite. You haven't been down my bumpy road. No, it's I mean it.
Welcome back to the Choose 80 Zoom room, Jay. Lovely to see you
Hello.
again.
Yeah, no, totally.
Last time we
Better
spoke
times.
to you,
It
it
was COVID, wasn't it?
lockdown. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
lockdown.
Yeah, we're free.
Oh,
Yes, hurrah!
that's
So looking ahead, you've got Party Like It's 1981 coming up, haven't you? Your gig in the O2. So we're really
Yeah,
looking
we
forward to
have.
it.
It's on the 28th of June and it's going to be all the hits, some album tracks, some fan favourites, a few 80s tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's lovely to be able to do our own thing because quite often we're on a bill and we only do maybe half an hour or something or an hour. And so this is a longer show with some things that
Oh,
we haven't
brilliant.
done for a long time.
Oh, so can you give any clues or because we were there last time and it was
Oh,
fantastic.
different medleys, different songs from different arrangements, kind of thing. It'll be similar but different.
Ah,
it's a
brilliant.
great
Looking
venue,
forward to
isn't it?
that.
There, it's really
It's
lovely.
really good. It's a great venue. Yeah, it's
And you've
so
got,
nice. Great lighting and
yeah,
yeah, it'll be similar to what you saw before then. Hopefully better.
Yeah, yeah, we
yeah.
can't wait. We can't wait.
Your fans are the best. They're so lively, it makes a real party. It's good. We can see why you
Yeah,
called it
yeah,
Party Like It's 1981. It's like going back. It is.
And of course,
yeah.
it's one of your last gigs with Mike, isn't it? We were
It
obviously really
is.
sad to hear that.
Yeah,
Pleased
yeah.
that you're
Well,
continuing.
he's been, to be honest, I think lockdown changed him because he actually quite liked it. You know, like we've been on the road. Well, I went back in the band officially in 09, but we've been, working together since 08. And I think the lockdown sort of, he's getting on a bit. And I think he really enjoyed his sort of rest. Um, and he's been talking about it now for 3 years that he was thinking of
Yeah.
leaving.
Ah,
And
yeah.
he hasn't been himself all the
He
time.
obviously,
He was obviously battling with the decision because there's a
Yeah.
bit of him that loves being Mike Nolan and having people cheer and but he hates the traveling and that was the thing because he doesn't drive because of his visual impairment from the coach crash. It's hard for him and so it was just getting to him.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that because physically it must be quite sort of draining, to do a whole load of tours. And as the years march on, it must
Yeah,
be quite challenging in places,
yeah,
I'd imagine. Yeah.
yeah,
But Mike
yeah.
always seems such a lot of fun though to us, Jay. Have you got any funny experiences you can share? What's the funniest thing he's done, during your whole
Well,
career?
the main thing is Mike's got about six jokes, and they're usually on rotation, and some of them are unrepeatable on here. So it's like that he's got his public list of, and then he's got his other funny ha ha ones, and
Any you
yeah,
can
that
share?
I couldn't divulge that, but
Ah,
no, he's just Mike. I mean, he's plays the clown, that's his whole kind of
yeah,
persona,
yeah,
and he's just Mike.
yeah.
He's
yeah.
just he's definitely a one-off. He's a
He is.
wannabe comedian, but it's really good he didn't go down that path.
Well, maybe he could do the next thing, like the next Dave Allen, sitting on a stool. You don't have to do much work.
That's
He could.
that's true. I could, yeah. He's just finished this album. He's been putting an album together for about 3 years. So I think he's going to
Oh,
be flogging that at the O2. But it'll be a nice keepsake because that'll be it, I imagine.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
We'd be sad to see Mike
yeah.
go.
So you're recruiting two new people, aren't you? Two new men?
Yeah, we're going to be auditioning fairly soon. We're going to be announcing it fairly soon, me and Cheryl.
Ah,
We're looking for two replacements because we want to kind of put it back to the four with the four-part
yeah.
harmony
Yeah.
and how the routines used to be. And it'll be good.
I have
It'll be
auditioned. Like,
it'll be a new beginning, if you pardon the pun, for me and Cheryl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting for you both.
It
Have you
is
had
actually, yeah.
any offers so far, Jay? Any people coming
Um,
forward?
wait, sorry, my puppy's chewing my blanket. Stop it. Um, we've had lots of messages. There's a few people that have contacted us. Some are quite famous. Some of them are already in fairly big bands. Um, and some of those people we can't match the dates up.
So if we could quickly nip back to 1981, since you're doing the Party Like It's 1981 gig, and we've spoken to you in the past about making your mind up and the Eurovision, and it was such a massive time for you, but it was also a big time for you had other big hit singles in 1981. So you had Piece of the Action and also Land of Make Believe, which is our favourite. We just love it. And that was your biggest selling UK hit, wasn't it? Above
It was.
the
Yeah,
Mind Up,
absolutely.
and one of the
Yeah.
top selling singles of the entire decade. That
Yeah. It
it was
was,
such a
Oh, it's a
magical.
really magical because I remember it was in the winter, wasn't it, Jay, when it was
yeah,
released?
Christmas time.
That's
Yeah.
it. So
We
it's
we
made it.
knocked Don't You Want Me Baby off number one.
Yeah, we
Yes,
And
yeah.
yes.
we were I think we're about number two, and it's very rare if you're at number two in the charts that you get to number one. Normally people go to two and then they sink. And the record company said, look, if you'll do a Top of the Pops live, we think you'll go to one. And we'd all booked things for Christmas because it was just before Christmas. Mike, I think, was going to America. I was going to see my family in Jersey because my mum and dad were in Australia working. And I think Cheryl had booked something. And so we cancelled everything. And it's one of the highlights, actually. I mean, we did the Top of the Pops. We did Land of Make Believe. And I had this white leather costume on with cone boobies and
Yeah,
studs on
before Madonna.
chains. Yeah, I mean, it was 10 years ahead of Madonna. I mean, she
Yeah.
Yeah.
copied me. She did. I have the proof. And so I land. They put on a private jet for me, like a little plane. And I remember a guy from the record company throwing me in the back of the car the minute I had finished because it was live. Like, yeah, you got the thumbs up, go. Threw me in the car, drove me to Luton Airport. And I landed in Jersey actually later than, they shut the airport at a certain time. And I'll never forget it. We were like, will I be able to land? And they held the airport open for me.
Oh,
And
wow.
my family were I mean, Jersey Airport was different then. And my uncle, fortunately, used to have a little private jet. So not a jet, but like he flew.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
knew someone that allowed my family to go and stand actually on the runway. So I landed and they were just sort of there. And I got out of
Oh,
the plane and I was still covered in the snow, which was the fake plastic snow that they used to pour on us on top
yeah.
of the pots. And I just covered the runway, there's like a breeze and it was like Christmas
Oh,
and magical snow
Oh
again.
what a
God.
And I'm
memory.
still in my costume with my cocaine boobies on. It was just one of those moments, I'll always remember. And then had a great Christmas with my family and
Oh,
all my cousins. They're all different ages from sort of below my age to like toddlers. And it was just a magical Christmas. So,
Oh,
yeah,
it
that
sounds
was good.
magical, Jay. Even more magical than watching the video.
videos are magical,
Oh,
aren't
it's
they?
so good. And
So
also
yeah,
that,
we went. It did the trick. We went to number one. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And that it had a sort of ghostly and mysterious edge to it, didn't it? With the tapping on the window, and then there was the Superman. You were dressed as Superman as well, weren't you? In the I think
yeah,
Superman.
well, it was kind of dreamlike, wasn't it? And the
Yeah.
other story about shooting that video, we'd been filming it, and it wasn't until about 1 a.m. that they realized, and this was a big director, and he was not cheap. He actually used to film the Kenny Everett shows.
Ah,
Oh,
We were filming in the swimming pool at White City to do, and we'd had all these extras come, and they'd all left, and they went, oh. the film isn't going. The film hadn't been turning, so they had nothing.
Oh, no.
So we shot that video from 1 a.m. till 3:30 with a fraction of the people that had been there in the day.
Oh, no.
So it was a long day.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know from the finished product.
No, I mean, they made it look okay, but, you know, like there'd be like 5 times the people before and all, you know, it's just one of those things.
Yeah,
it worked.
It
was the number one.
Yeah.
You can't complain about that.
Another big hit for you in that year was Piece of the Action, wasn't it? And that was your follow-up to Making Your Mind Up. And it's always a very stressful time, I imagine, to have a follow-up single, because you're never knowing whether you're going to have the success of the first one. But that was a big hit too. So was that a big relief to you all?
Yes, it was actually, and it was quite a quick turnaround. So as soon as we won Eurovision, we were all over Europe, and we had to get another song happening and started to record an album. And we also did the London Palladium with Mike Yarwood.
It was
but we didn't have any songs, so we did covers. You know, we had Making Your Mind Up, and it was all a bit of a rush, actually, because of the promotion in recording new material. So, yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah.
We were so busy. And even if you got back to your hotel room, they'd book in 10 interviews, you know, and you just fall asleep kind of with your clothes on. It was madness, but exciting, you know, when you're a teenager, and, you know, we got to see the world, really. So it was amazing.
Incredible. Now, you've got an upcoming garden party coming up, haven't you, Jay? You had one last year. It's not Buckingham Palace, but I bet it's the next thing, is it, Jay? Next
well, not quite. You haven't been down my bumpy road. No, it's I mean it. It's just a small gathering of fans who we've done it now a couple of years. So I do a little gig, and I do some songs that I don't do with the band. That'll be more my song.
Do you have to warn your neighbours, Jay, or have you got some nice neighbours?
I invite them.
Oh, we were going to ask that.
They can come down. Not all of them, but most of them. Yeah. Well, they kind of know about it, so.
Yeah. So they want a piece of the action, obviously. Sorry, I better go.
You've also recently released 2 solo albums, haven't you? I Spy and Alive as well, and that covers material from when you left Bucks Fizz back in the day, right up to current times, doesn't it?
It does. Actually, there was meant to be 3 albums, and the other album's called Lamb or Lizard. And that album has songs from literally as the minute I left the band in about 1985, all the way up to about the late 90s. And it was meant to come out all together. And there was a technical issue over copyright on a few songs, which has been very frustrating, to be honest. But it's coming out any day. So there will be Lamb and Lizard, and that has about 38 songs on it. So I have been releasing 58 songs.
Oh, wow. You must be very proud of that, Jay.
Well, I just thought, you know, I've put all the work in, and it was my absolute passion when I left the band. And to be quite honest, you know, I was offered lots of solo deals even to leave the band, which you can't do when you're in a contract.
No.
But it all got so vicious when I left the band with the management. I just carried on writing the songs because it was something I'd done from a young age with my brother. You know, I was writing lyrics when I was 9. And I go through stages where I sort of have a song coming on. At the moment, I'm trying to help my daughter and a girlfriend of her friend develop a little act, you know, like a girl bandy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're doing that tomorrow. So she's my next project.
Great.
And my husband's currently mixing his album in the spare bedroom.
Oh, wow. What's going on?
It's a very musical family.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So when did you say your new album's coming out? Your latest one?
It should be any time. I mean, I'll put it up on my Twitter and my Instagram, but it could be next week or the week after. It'll be I would hope certainly by the end of the month. It's meant to be going up any day, but
Oh,
I haven't had a
brilliant.
date.
There's some great songs on your other albums. I really like Music Box, and my husband and my son were listening the other day. We had it on, and yours truly, they both said that sounds like Taylor Swift. It's really got Taylor Swift vibes. They really love that. They really love that
Oh,
one. So
really? Oh,
yeah,
good. I've written things for different projects, which is why they are a bit of a, they're all in different directions, really. But I think at the end of the day, I was trying to find what really suited me. And if I just have, I do have lots of different sides to my singing.
yeah,
I can sing really soft, I can sing quite rocky, I can sing all kinds of different ways. And in a way, I never really decided who I was within that. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of people said they thought the more country songs, country style music suited my voice more.
Yeah.
But Lamb and Lizard has got, I mean, it's literally schizophrenia. I mean, there's just so many personalities on there. But it is like, again, it's like all the stuff I was going through and I left the band, and it wasn't all pretty. It was sort of, I got through it with the songs. And I
Yeah.
went to LA shortly after I sold my house, which was early 90s, and I had a load of people going, oh my God, wow. But I'd been doing dance then, and they were really not into that yet. And yet that's
Yeah.
huge there now. I mean, it was a bit ahead of its time, if I'm completely
yeah.
honest. So
Yeah.
it's been a funny old journey, and I didn't want it to just sit on the mantelpiece. There's no point, and I hope people could enjoy it.
Yeah,
Oh, can't
definitely.
wait to hear it.
It'd be great to
Yeah.
hear all those different facets of your voice, Jay. We're looking forward to that.
And we can't wait to see you at the Indigo too. We are gearing up for that at the end of the month. We can't
We're gonna
wait.
get our glitter out.
At our time of life, you've got any excuse for a bit of fun, eh, girls?
Exactly, Jay. Make the
Oh,
most of it. We will. Yeah.
well, thanks so much for chatting, and hopefully we'll catch up with you at the O2.
Thanks, Jay. Looking forward to seeing you.
Lovely. Take care, girls.
All
Bye.
right. Thanks,
Take care.
Jay.
Bye.
Bye.